Hello, Mr. 006. We're back for part 6 of Celeste. Last time we cleared out to chapter 5, Mirror Temple, and it was, yeah, pretty long level. Probably certainly the longest we've had so far. I don't think it's quite going to be the longest in the game, although I'm hoping it's not going to be this next one that's going to be the longest. I'm pretty sure that's going to be chapter 7, but yeah, chapter 5, Mirror Temple, as I said, a very long level, and yeah, but I enjoy that one quite a lot. I love the red orb sort of gimmick of flying across the level and you know, going a long way, and sometimes having to pull off manoeuvres and dashes and whatnot to avoid hitting spikes and stuff like that. It's got a lovely little section as well with Theo in the crystal and the demon antenna weird thing chasing us. So yeah, it's a really nice level. I like that one quite a bit. Although I must admit, chapter 6 is also another one of my absolute personal favourites. I love this chapter so much. Yeah, let's just get into it. Chapter 6, Reflection. Did you know it is impossible to outrun your own reflection? Well, in the context of this game, I'm certainly going to try. Okay, so before we go any further, there is an extremely lengthy conversation here between Madeline and Theo, so I'm going to go through all of it. I want to get through all the dialogue, just to remember myself what goes on, you know, what's all said here, because I obviously listened to it all through the first time, but I didn't the second time I played through, so I was pretty much just skipping all the cutscenes because I knew what was there. I just wanted to sort of, you know, get through the game ultimately. But yeah, this will be good for me to sort of do as well, just to remind myself of everything they say. I'm probably going to do a little bit of comment on it afterwards. I hope it's not going to go into too much detail, because again, it's going to delve into issues and stuff like that, which I don't feel particularly qualified to, you know, talk at length about personally. Yeah, this is going to be a very lengthy conversation. So what I'm going to do, since I can't really put annotations in videos now anymore, or nor really can anyone on YouTube, I'll put a timestamp in the description of the video to say when this conversation, or indeed, sorry, yeah, when this conversation's ended, and after I've given all my thoughts as well. So if you don't care about this conversation, because it's going to be quite lengthy, and you just want to watch the gameplay, then by all means, absolutely do so. But yeah, I'm going to go through this conversation now. But I will put a time reference in the comments to note when this conversation's over and I finish giving my 2 cents afterwards. And with that out of the way, yeah, let's delve into the conversation. Theo, you're awake. Am I? I'm sceptical. I had a messed up nightmare. Yeah, about that. Wait. Oh, yep, it's all coming back to me now. That actually happened. Thanks for getting us out of there. I'm glad we were in it together. I don't know if I could have done that alone. So you do actually get a choice here between what, and we're actually controlling, funnily enough, what Theo is going to say. So we also get an opportunity later on to find out, you know, or for Madeline to ask questions. I say I will go through this conversation in full, but yeah, we actually get an opportunity here to select what Theo, how Theo wants to progress the conversation. So we'll go with the top one. How long was I out for? Must have been a few hours. Man, what a ride. Tell me about it. Are you okay? I mean, aside from the existential crisis? Yeah, I'm fine. So what's really going on here? Clearly this isn't a normal mountain. What's really going on here? I should have told you sooner. Back at the old ruins, part of me escaped from a mirror. A part I'm not very proud of. I swear I dreamt it. You think the mountain made her real? Yeah. She's been haunting me the whole time. She lashed out at Mr. Oshiro. I think she was the reason the gondola stalled out. And she was there, in the temple. Why didn't you say something? I wouldn't have gone into that temple if I knew what this mountain was capable of. I tried to stop you. You could have mentioned that your demon doppelganger was on the loose. Come on, Theo. You know how crazy this sounds. I didn't even believe myself. Okay, okay. I understand. Next time, just talk to me, though. I promise I'll believe you. Okay. Why is it so easy for you to trust me? Seriously, you barely know me. Honestly? You remind me of my sister. That's adorable. What's she like? Oh, you'd love her. Actually, you might not get along at first, but you'd eventually love her. She's a literal rock star. She's a musician? That's so cool. Okay, she's not literally a literal rock star. Alex is just amazing at everything. She's studying to be a civil rights lawyer. Wow! How do I remind you of her? You both live so deep inside your own heads. Oh. Alex has this amazing internal compass. It's obvious that she'll get where she needs to be. I can see that in you too. I wish I could say the same for myself. Your sister sounds great. I really remind you of her? Are you kidding me? You're the one who's dead set on climbing this mountain. And you don't even know why. That's classic Alex. I'm just teasing you. Why are you climbing the mountain anyways? You're right, I don't even know why. I just had to get out of my head. I'm stuck in a cycle. You're preaching to the choir here. I've had many a soul-destroying day job. Works fine, actually. I'm going crazy. I can't stop thinking about dumb crap that doesn't matter. My brain fixates on these stupid things that happened forever ago. I should be over them. None of it even matters. I'm good at keeping up appearances, but the truth is I'm barely holding it together. I'm sorry, that's pretty rough stuff. Can I help? You're already helping. It feels good to say it out loud. You don't talk to anyone about it? No, not really. My mum knows I get depressed and have panic attacks. That's about it. No wonder you feel trapped. How do you cope with anything? I drink, mostly. And get mad at people on the internet. How about you? What brought you to the mountain? I'm just kind of bumming around, as usual. I started this new job in Seattle. I thought I finally knew what I was supposed to be doing with my life, but I hated it. So I quit after a week and hopped a bus to Canada. I just felt this urge to get lost in the middle of nowhere. Now that I'm saying it out loud, I realise how flaky it sounds. It just sounds like you're under a lot of pressure. Not really. Everyone's so patient with me. Though I guess I am putting a lot of pressure on myself. People always think I'm comparing myself to Alex, but I swear that isn't the problem. I'm just worried that I'll never figure out where I'm going. You said you wanted to feel lost. Maybe you should just embrace that for now. Maybe. Who do you think built the temple? It looks ancient. It must predate everything else on the mountain. The resort, the ruins, the city. There's a lot of history here. Yeah. This mountain has meant so many things to so many people. I'm starting to understand why that crazy old lady lives here. You ran into her too? What's her deal? I think she's just a mean person. But she does seem pretty content living out here. Would you mind talking about what depression's like? It sucks. Yeah, but what does it feel like? Alex struggles with it too. I really want to understand. We can talk about something else if you want. It's like I'm at the bottom of the ocean. I can't see anything in any direction. It's claustrophobic, yet I feel exposed. I remember feeling normal, but now it feels just out of reach no matter what I try. Then again, I was probably always messed up. It just took something hurtful to bring it out. There must be something wrong with me. Whatever happened, I'm sure it's not your fault. I guess I thought that I could... I don't know. I'm just floating in this abyss, swimming in a random direction, hoping that I find something. That's really why I'm here. But I can't escape myself. I'm literally fighting myself the entire way. Maybe this is all pointless. Madeline, you just saved my life. That's not pointless. Yeah. Look, you're a good person. You're a little intense, but you're a good person. I think you're just trying to push out of that rut you're stuck in. And that's a totally legit reason to climb the mountain. Maybe. That's helpful. This part of you that's haunting you, maybe she comes with the territory. Do you think I'm stuck with her forever? Well, she's stuck with you too. That's not helpful. So you want to destroy this part of you? Won't that hurt you too? If I don't, she's just going to keep bullying me. She says she's protecting me, but that's obviously not true. Maybe she thinks she is. She could be some kind of twisted defense mechanism. Honestly, who cares? She has so much control over me. I hate it. Maybe you could learn to control her instead. The feather helps a lot. Thanks for teaching me that. Just one of my grandpa's many nuggets of wisdom. Why not take a vacation instead? What do you mean? Dude, you needed a change, so you chose to climb a mountain. Why not do something relaxing instead? Go to Hawaii, or like, take a bath. I guess I feel like I need to accomplish something. It sounds like you have enough on your plate already. I guess it is kind of extreme, but that's how I am. I need something to challenge me. And I can't just do something a little bit. It's all of me or nothing. Are you close to your grandpa? Yeah, I was. Oh, I'm sorry. It's okay, that's just how it is. All I can do is stay positive. And live a meaningful life, because that's what he would want. I'm so sorry, Theo. Thanks. What else did you learn from your grandpa? So much stuff. Actually, he was the one who told me about Celeste Mountain. He always said that this place changed his life. After I quit my job in Seattle, I realised how close I was to it. I felt like he was telling me to come here. Grandpa said that the mountain was special. Do you think he went through the temple like us? Do you think he understood the power of the mountain? He never talked about what happened here. I doubt your grandpa was as messed up as me. His experience was probably less violent. He found the mountain before I was born. I don't know what he was like before that. I wonder what he learned about himself here. Thank you, Theo. For believing in me back there, I mean. Believing in you was the easy part. I wish I could have helped. I was pretty useless stuck in that thing. You actually helped a lot. Honestly, I couldn't have made it without your support. You know what? I want to remember this night. Let's take a selfie. I thought you'd never ask. You know, despite everything, I feel pretty good right now. Wait a second. You're going to reach the summit tomorrow. Don't jinx it. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm ready to put this all behind me. I'll be cheering you on. We should get some sleep. Okay, good night, Theo. Thanks for being cool. What can I say? It comes naturally. And we finally have control back. But yeah, like I said, what can I say? That is a particularly long conversation if you go through the whole lot. Clearly, I don't think you need to go. You have to go through the whole lot. Obviously, you can skip the cutscene entirely. But if you did feel like it was dragging on, you could obviously, I think, go to that last selection, which is like, I can't remember exactly what it was now, but it's something like, I want to remember this night or something like that. I think that would probably end the conversation right there and then. But yeah, I say I'm not gonna start going on off on that whole conversation, because, as I say, yeah, it touches on issues that are just, you know, way above and beyond anything I'm an expert on. But all I can say on that is it's a really nice, surprising. I mean, not necessarily for the game having got this far, but for a game in general to perhaps go down this kind of route. Obviously, there's clearly issues of the mental health issues going on here with both Theo and Madeline suffering. Madeline herself has clearly indicated there she suffers from depression, panic attacks, anxiety, and all that stuff. Which is, I'm not going to say I can relate to Madeline in that respect, because I can't say I've ever felt. I've felt down from time to time. Two particular occasions spring to mind, but I can't ever use like the D word, depression, to describe how I felt in those situations. But luckily, you know, I've sort of pulled myself out of it relatively quickly, or had a good friend on hand who could help me before anything became too serious or anything like that. But yeah, it's such a nice, they've come out of that conversation. I mean, these two people have never really, as Madeline said there, don't even really know each other all that well, but they've built up a good friendship kind of already. They're helping each other progress through here. They're being very supportive to one another as well. It's clear that Theo's got his own sort of issues of, just trying to think how to describe it, but he's sort of like always kind of thinks maybe down on himself, compares him to others, and can't sort of switch things. And Madeline as well sort of said that as well, that she can't sort of like maybe switch things off. She has to go at things full throttle, and she can't let the little things go. All of these things, although not quite to the extreme of either of these two characters, are things that I can absolutely relate to very much as well. So while I don't think I'm quite in the realm of going anywhere near any of the mental health issues that clearly these two characters are suffering from, I certainly can relate to them to a certain degree. But as I say, I'll leave it there. That's my 2 cents on that. I'm not going to delve into it anymore, because, as I say, I am by nowhere means qualified to talk about any of that kind of stuff in any great detail. So yeah, we're back in control now, and we'll get on with the gameplay. So yeah, that was about 2 or 3 minutes talk there at the end. That was probably about a 15-minute or so conversation. But yeah, it's part of the game. I was never going to skip that as part of this Let's Play. I think it's really important to show all that off. And yeah, apologies for the voices. My obviously, I want to say voice acting, because I don't feel like I'm voice acting per se, but again, apologies for the voice, my terrible job sort of doing voices for there. But oh well, we got through the conversation, and yeah, I enjoyed it, just sort of actually going through that again. But anyway, at the coming up to the 20-minute mark, back to the gameplay. So we have this feather, which is sort of obviously become now synonymous with with you know, what Madeline's kind of going through. So yeah, and basically with the feather, we can control. So I'll point out something there as well. The feathers in bubbles, you have to kind of dash through in order for them to in order to collect them again. But basically with the feather, let me just point it out here if it hasn't already been obvious. You can move in every which way direction. You have completely free control. Over Madeline here. So yeah, just at this point in time or this section, just keep climbing this tower section, and eventually you'll trigger another cutscene. But yeah, the feather is a wonderful little addition and gimmick to the game, and we're going to be seeing a lot of it in this chapter. But here is the bad part of us. Or so we think the bad part of us at the moment. The Northern Lights are so beautiful. Yeah, they are. Where are we? We need to talk. Okay. I finally understand who you are. You're not my true reflection. I'm not. You're everything I need to leave behind. You're cruel, paranoid, controlling. Why would you say that? No, it's okay. I understand now. I don't need you anymore. So you're just abandoning me? I'm setting you free. We'll both be so much happier. You're so stupid. I love her coming out of the frame here. That's just a wonderful little effect. You think you could just leave me behind? You think you can blame everything on me? You think you're above me? And even more out of the frame now. Answer me! Calm down, please. Calm down? Breathe, Madeline. Use the feather. Which we do indeed have to do again. So yeah, wait for the box to appear, get the feather in there, and then yeah, just start moving the up and down analog stick, or if you're playing on a keyboard, obviously the up and down buttons on there, just to keep the feather within this little box. And yeah, after a certain amount of time, whoops, sticking in the box. There's no real penalty for dropping out, I don't think, at least anyway. That actually didn't happen to me either time. Let's just see where this goes. You're going to think about a feather to stop me? You are not above me. I don't know whether I can't remember actually whether she does that entirely. Possibly as well. It felt like I actually had no control there. I was taking in the box, and all of a sudden the feather dropped. So apologies. I've actually forgotten if that is meant to happen there, because it felt like the feather just literally, forgive the pun, dropped like a stone, and just I couldn't get in the box. So maybe that is maybe that is meant to happen, and I forgot it happened. I was just expecting to be able to calm down and keep the feather in there, but maybe that's supposed to happen. Anyway, you are not above me, and you can't climb this mountain. It's time to accept that. Madeline, what's happening? And this shocked me, first time I played the game. Seeing this sort of image here of Madeline kind of plummeting down the mountain, and indeed this section as well. Perhaps a better question is how she's able to survive this, since she's falling from this massive height, crashing, careering through spikes all the way down, regardless of the large pool of water she's about to land in. But yeah, we are pretty much at the bottom of the mountain again. There's a whole bunch of stuff I could say about that cutscene as well, in terms of like the idea about, you know, obviously there's a different sort of side of part of Madeline that this kind of so-called at the moment part of me is supposed to be, in terms of Madeline thinking she has to completely get rid of it, just let it go, and everything will be fine. And she'll later learn a lesson, and ultimately that's not the approach she should take to it. But yeah, I'll leave that there for the moment and not spoil kind of the revelations and everything that Madeline will discover later on in this chapter, and indeed the next chapter after that. But yeah, this is a very, very relaxing level, actually, for the most part, till it gets to the very end, and then it becomes very intense. But yeah, we're in a sort of a very peaceful setting here. We get introduced to a new gimmick, by the way, which is this looks like a thwomp. But yeah, if you dash into it, then the whoops. Yeah, sorry, if you dash into it, then I'm probably meant to get it. Am I meant to get it up there? I can't remember where I'm meant to go now. I think I'm meant to get it up there. Unless there's another hidden wall somewhere that I was supposed to break apart. Don't think so. Where am I? There I am. Right, so let's get that down there, and then, whoops! Hopefully not get crushed. and then we'll dash again to, yeah, raise us up through here. Yeah, that was indeed where I was supposed to go. Good. But yeah, we get introduced to this new gimmick, and it's a very nice one, actually. I do quite like it. You have to use the momentum of the little block as well in a number of different places. But yeah, it's a nice little gimmick. And ow, bother. But anyway, yeah, the setup really for this stage is that ultimately we have fallen all the way down the mountain, and we need to get all the way back up. Don't worry, we're not going to have to like replay all the levels that we previously did in order to get there. But yeah, it's going to be sort of taking a different path to get through and everything. But yeah, we are effectively diagonal dashing. We are effectively reclimbing. We're going to be reclimbing the mountain. There. I do like the feather, but yeah, it can be a little bit tricky to control at certain points in time. It feels very... I mean, it feels like you have a lot of control over it, let's put it that way, in that you can pretty much go in any... You can obviously go in any way direction you want, and it is very fluid. But the fact that it is so fluid means that any small adjustments to the movement, particularly on an analog stick on a controller, which is what I'm playing this on, can sort of make me move more than I would like to. So yeah, there's obviously getting a balance between needing to move quick, because as you can clearly see we're having to get through quite some tight areas here, and that's possibly salvageable, to be honest. If I'd been a bit quicker there, I think that would have been salvageable. Frankly, I should have just gone down to the bottom and recollected the feather, but oh well. Oh, come on. But anyway, yeah, it's yeah. I often sometimes find that I certainly don't take like the exact same path that I usually take. I'm actually going to grab the ledge there and just pause a bit and get my get my movement coming back a bit nicer. But yeah, it can be it's fun, but it can be, or I certainly find it a bit of a tricky thing sometimes. That was bad, so I need to get momentum and then jump up there. Cool. But this is a very, very relaxing area per se. We haven't really got too many sort of enemies sort of flying at us or anything like that. It's more just sort of again completely environmental stuff that we can sort of we can work around. There are barely any collectibles here either. So there are actually no strawberries whatsoever. So yeah, it's going to break apart. Get that block or get the blue block there to break apart. By the way, when it's sort of finished dashing in one direction, wherever it was previously, it will return to where its original position was. But yeah, break apart the wall, or the floor below us, and then break apart the wall to the left-hand side, and we find, well, probably not too much of a spoiler, since I said there are going to be no strawberries in this area, and so yeah, we're basically only after the B-side cassette tape and the crystal heart. So yeah, I guess from a sort of a stress point of view, I mean, stress is probably not quite the right word there, but that's probably bad. Oh, I managed to get away with it. That's not going to be good. No, I need to get to the double jump, the dash refresher there, methinks. Or just do a much better job with clinging onto a wall somewhere. I'm going to have a think about where I need to go here. So yeah, that's terribly timed, because I can't immediately see there's much safe ground for me to stand on. So that would probably do, except I need to go back to the right hand side there and get the platform that I was that was behind me. Ding it! And there's an example again of if you're sort of inside where the confines of the platform would be when it's about to spawn in, then yeah, it doesn't actually spawn in. I don't think I've done very well here. I've managed to salvage it. That'll do nicely. Probably one of the trickier ones, that actually. Although I might have been just messing up left, right, and centre, which I probably was. But no, that one actually felt like more of a challenge than some of the other ones. But anyway, yeah, that's the cassette. So the only thing left to do, actually, is get the crystal heart, and I've just realised I've done something rather stupid, and I wanted to actually do something in preparation for this section, because yeah, I might actually have to pause the video here, or I'm going to be scrabbling around in the dark, do it for an absolute age. So basically there's a hidden feather down there. You want to ride it up here, climb the walls and get up to this area. Take this feather and go over to the far left hand side of the screen. There is a little a hidden passage up here, and then we find ourselves in this area. So this is where the crystal is. But yeah, I was very stupid. What I should have done in preparation before I started this part off was write something down on a post-it note. And in fact, I'm only going to write one thing down because I feel like I want to actually explain how the rest of it works. But yeah, I have ultimately no memory of of exactly the order of things which I need to do here. So yeah, I'll take a quick cut here, and I'll be back once I've written down ultimately how I do this first little bit of this, and I'll explain what the hell's going on. Okay, so I've probably now got a picture of the birds in Chapter 1, getting the crystal heart in there, because basically that's what this is a reference to. So if you remember the crystal heart in Chapter 1, there was that monitor connected to the satellite dish that was flashing a whole bunch of colours, and then there were some birds that were dashing in particular directions. So yeah, this is a callback to that, but yeah, I couldn't for the life of me remember which direction the birds, or the coloured birds were travelling. So yeah, I couldn't remember what order I was going to need to do this section. So back to the gameplay. So yeah, we can see here, it's nowhere near obvious really what you're going to do here, and even the symbols in the back don't really sort of tell you the full story, although once you kind of know what you're doing, you can sort of guess kind of how this is also going to work. But yeah, this actually took quite a while to figure out. I didn't get this the first time playthrough, because I figured this ultimately might have something, given the colours. They look quite familiar to the ones that were in Chapter 1, but I certainly didn't have anything on hand at that point in time, so I was just like, I'll skip this and come back to it later. But yeah, we basically need to mirror the order in which the birds dashed in Chapter 1. So unless I've made a horrible mess with my with what the instructions I've written now down in front of me on a post-it note, we should be able to solve this. So first, we've got 4 torches here. We need to light them all. So the first colour here is the sort of I guess the whitish light blue one, and that one was dashing up. So we need to dash up. I don't know if I need to actually be on the floor here and do all this, but we'll see if it progresses there. We've then got the sort of the what looks to me like a pinky kind of one, which was a dash to the left. So let's dash left. We then got the sort of the dark bluer one, which was a down right dash. So we'll do that next. Then we've got the red one, which was an up right dash. The pinky or possibly light blue one again, which is a left dash, and then the yellow one, which is an up left dash. And that's lit the flame. So good. I won't have any problems from now on. But I only wrote down this solution to this on the first go through, having watched back my part 1, because I felt like actually in some ways by writing down the solution to the next lot, I'd probably just speed through it and actually want to think about it, because it will also just, if you don't know or would like an explanation of it, would also sort of just make it. I wouldn't be going through it quite so quick, and you maybe see how it's all working. So anyway, we've got the first flame lit, and this looks like just a play button, so play in the regular order. This second one is actually a flip the horizontal maneuvers. So for example, we had the first dash is up. So of course horizontal. So when you flip it horizontally, it's still up. So we'll dash up. The next one was a dash to the left, but now of course we want to flip that horizontally. So actually we want to dash right. The next one was a down and right dash, so flipping that horizontally we get down and left. The next one was up and right, so we want up and left. The next one was left, so we want right. And then the last one was up and left, so now we want up and right. Good, I'm not messing up. So the next one, if you appreciate the second one is a horizontal flip, the next one is a vertical flip. So again, the first one originally was up, so this time it is down. The next one was left, but of course that's unchanged when you do anything vertically, so that is still left. The next one was down and right, so this time we want up and right. The next one was up and right, so now it's down and right. Left again originally, so that's still left. And the last one was up and left, so that is now down and left. Good. And then, although it's not really clear from this panel, it looks blank. The sort of the natural progression the expected thing to do here. We've had a normal one, we've had a horizontal flip, we've had a vertical flip. Let's flip the horizontal and the vertical. So originally the first one was up, so now it's down. Second was left, so now it's right. Third was down and right, so now it's up and left. Fourth was up and right, so now that's down and left. Fifth one was left, so now that's right. And sixth one was up and left, so that is down and right. And there, when we have all 4 flames lit, this statue releases the crystal heart. Heavy and frail. So yeah, that is our Chapter 6 heart, and as I say, it's a bit of a cryptic one. That I mean, I didn't get this the first time I was playing through, but admittedly the colours do look like they are, very very recognisable to me without actually knowing what the hell the colours are, but recognisable to whatever colours they were for the birds in Chapter 1. So yeah, that is how you solve that puzzle, and that is all of the collectibles, as I said, in Chapter 6. So we only had the cassette tape and the crystal heart. We've now got both, so the only thing we have to worry about is getting through the stage. No strawberries to find or anything else, so bother. So yeah, let's just progress. I think we can actually progress in one of two ways, up the top there or down below. So let's maybe go up the top way. I'm not sure. This is another part here that I'm not absolutely 100% sure whether I'll like maybe show off everything here. I may just, because I think I can just go up here. Yeah, there are, I think, I'm going to do a bit of mucking around here. Okay, no. So for example, that takes me to a particular area. And there was no sort of safe area down. I now have this area here, so I can also go down here. In fact, there's nothing here, so I'll show that off. Oh, sorry, there isn't nothing here. There is a cutscene here. Blimey, glad I went here. Otherwise, I'd have completely missed that. Oh boy, I'm aware. Later on, there'll be sort of split paths that go up and down, and I think they might take you different areas. And ultimately, it doesn't really matter which way you go through. But oh boy, am I glad! Boy, am I glad I went backtracked and came here. I was so close. It's over now. Why won't she leave me alone? I hate her. But she's part of me. I'll never be able to get rid of her. And she was right. I couldn't climb the mountain. So, no, say not that it never truly goes away from anybody, but we can still clearly see that she's suffering from, self-doubt and all that kind of thing. But she's come perhaps to the realisation that her so-called, evil doppelganger may not be quite the, maybe not quite the evil presence that she's been thinking of so far. Nothing in here, is there? I don't think. Yeah, fine. Anyway, now we get to have some, we get to some split paths, and we get to have some fun with these blocks. And that was terrible. And I might be able to salvage the situation. In fact, I probably can. So yeah, wait for it to split apart some of the blocks. I didn't need to dash off that one there because I would have been safe there. Didn't have to get the momentum to carry me all the way over here. Yeah, we're gonna have some fun with these blocks now. If we can get to them. As I said, the controls. I'm not blaming anything to do with the controls on this, and that was bad. I should just probably dash immediately on this feather or at the wall rather than try and do anything fancy. I don't want to stand there either. There will be a screen later on. Again, the sort of the knowledge of knowing that there are certain... Wow, didn't grab onto the edge there. Of knowing some screens are coming up, but not exactly where they're coming up. So, yeah, this sort of second-guessing things. This one we do need to dash, because there's a big ravine there. If I just let the thing crash there and didn't jump off with the momentum, I don't think I'd be able to make it over there. So, yeah. And now this is the area I was sort of talking about before. So, yeah, at this point in time, I do believe... I'm just going to see whether I can actually show this off. So I could go up there, yeah, and I could also go back here, and I could also go to an area here. But they are different areas, so I don't actually know exactly how many split paths there are here, whether ultimately just going all the way once will carry me to a particular... I need to dash there, that was terrible. Will take me to sort of a particularly new area or something. So, yeah, I'm probably just going to take the high route every time. Let's just have a look actually and see whether, yeah, the area down here I think is blocked off, so I couldn't get there. I think each time there is probably a high and low path. I might do a little bit of experimentation actually and just see whether or not this is just purely an up and down thing. So you get to this screen, ultimately this screen, whichever path you took. In which case I might do a route where I go all the down routes just to show off every single screen. If that is the case. Or yeah, just in case that is actually what's going on, I'll take the higher route all the time this time, and yeah, I'll play around maybe afterwards, and we'll do a lower route. But we did get introduced to a new gimmick here, so that's these bouncing spheres. So yeah, you sort of you get flung off of them in the direction that you're sort of. It bounces you off basically in the sort of almost a cardinal direction. Although I could say cardinal direction is not true there. It bounces you off at an angle where you. That's sort of opposite to where you hit it, but you do get your dash back when you bounce off of it. But yeah, it's sometimes they move here as well, and this is a really kind of it's a really fun gimmick. I actually find, but it's yeah, it can be kind of frustrating and it can be kind of exact at later points in time. Here it's fairly lenient, but yeah, later on start getting into some quite very precise little areas where it's actually yeah, it can be lots of narrow paths, as I'm sure you can imagine, and yeah, it gets quite difficult. And that's probably okay. Yep, good. But yeah, no, I do actually really like this this gimmick, this mechanic, if you will. It's a fun one. Should be able to break that apart, surely. Yeah, thank you. So yeah, as I said, I'll keep taking the high route every time for the moment. And then here we've got them combined with these are glyphs that we need to collect. Again, nothing too tricky at the moment. Got sort of almost, yeah, and you've pretty much got infinite bouncing off of them as well. Obviously, you have to be careful that they don't, send you careering into something else. Obviously, if you connect like one and go directly into another one, or something sends you flying in a direction that you don't want, this is probably the quickest and simplest thing to do, isn't it? In fact, if I didn't hit the bloody, that'll do. Why not? Let's play a bit of pinball. Yeah, no, I really like those bouncing ball sort of gimmicks. Okay, let's get you out of the way, and then we'll dash you the other way. Probably didn't need to do that, and I in fact got crushed. In fact, I don't think I need to do that at all, do I? Really? Let's see what I can... I don't need to do that at all. Although, again, a bit like we just had a conversation with Madeline about sort of stubbornness now, and now I actually want to do that. So, yeah, thank you. Completely unnecessary, but yeah, much like Madeline, I am very stubborn. I think that sort of comes with the territory, with playing. I want to be obviously I want to be the guy games all the time and everything like that. So yeah, I think there's a certain amount of stubbornness and persistence that such a player would have to have, and yeah, I'm certainly no different in that regard. Another feather section, and I failed to realise that was in a bubble, so yay me. So we're actually going to need to dash through it. I don't think you need to hit literally all of these feathers. You can probably take different routes and such like that. But yeah, that's the route I was going to take. It gets me again. I think that keeps me on the higher route. So yeah, I think that's ultimately the one I'm going to take. As I said, I'm not quite sure whether that should be all right. Good. Yep. I'm not quite sure whether there are literally just up and down paths there. So yeah, if there are. I'll do some research after this I've finished this chapter and see whether that is the case. If that is the case, I'll maybe come back and show off the lower half of that route. But as I say, take whichever route you want, up or down. I don't think this lower screen is any harder than the ones I cleared there on the upper route. But yeah, dealer's choice. Take whichever one you fancy. Oh, hello again. Of course you're here. Calling it quits, I see. No, I fell. It's over. That's probably for the best. The mountain doesn't pull any punches. Yeah, I get it. I wasn't strong enough to climb your stupid mountain. You can laugh at me again if you want. I didn't mean actually laugh. Sometimes you've got to know when to throw in the towel. You'll get over it. You know what? I had a lot of time to think climbing out of this cave, and I'm already over it. That part of me was right. I can't do this. I'll just go home to my sad life and be miserable forever. Oh. You clearly aren't over it. Shut up, I know. I don't want to give up. But no matter how hard I try, she sabotages me every step of the way. A lot of kids come here to climb this mountain only to give up. It's a shame that you fell. I was starting to think you'd make it. What makes me so special? I've never met someone so angry at themselves. Honestly, I thought you'd reach the summit just to spite yourself. Gee, thanks. This girl you're talking about, it sounds like she's holding you back. Talk to her. Figure out why she's so scared. You think she's scared? I guess I never thought of it that way. Stop wasting both of our time and ask her. What have you got to lose? Okay, so we've got some more dialogue here, I guess, so I suppose we'll do that. I don't know how to find her. She's part of you, right? If you look for her, she won't take long to find. So you know about the mountain's power? Of course I know, I live here. I tried to warn you. You need to work on your messaging. A glimpse of the truth is good for people. Even if most can't accept what they see. There's no shame in running back to your car and driving away. Someday you'll be ready, then you'll come back. No. I'm going to see this through. No more running. I thought so. Good luck. How can you stand living here? Isn't it hard to deal with this all the time? It's true, you never really get used to it. But it keeps me sharp. I like that about it. But the mountain is so confrontational. Sure, it doesn't beat around the bush. Celeste Mountain is a place of healing, dear. The first step of healing is confronting the problem. It's never easy. Tell me about it. Okay, and we're done. And before we move on, I am going to attempt to do something that I legitimately didn't even know was a thing until a few days ago. So let's see if I'm actually able to pull it off. Okay, first part achieved. Unfortunately, the second part is going to require me to be able to have to pull off some manoeuvres that I've deliberately been trying to avoid talking about during this Let's Play until they actually appear. So, yeah, I've not actually done this before, so we're going to see how this goes. But yeah, by all means, please ignore the manoeuvres that I'm about to pull off. I'm not going to commentate on them. I'm not going to really talk about the exact things I'm doing here, if I can actually do them. I do start on that screen, good. Yeah, there are some, as I was saying, there are some additional manoeuvres that you can pull off. Yeah, one of which is one I don't particularly like. I will freely admit. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about what they are now. I will describe exactly what. I mean, you can kind of see, or at least one of them maybe. You can kind of see how they're working, but I'll describe them in a bit more detail. You know, when they actually become relevant. I'm not even actually sure that what I'm doing for the second part here is actually correct. So I'm actually wondering whether or not I'll be able to pull this off anyway, or that I would need to actually go away and think about how on earth I'm going to do this. So yeah, this is not working out how I thought it might do. So yeah. Might even end up having to come back to this a little bit later. I will give this a couple more minutes goes or whatever, and if I can't do it, then I will. Yeah, this will be a tremendously clumsy, look tremendously pathetic. But I'll come back. I'll come back and show it off. Well, you'll see it now because I'll insert it as at this point in time in the Let's Play. But yeah, I might actually have to come back and redo it because I'm not entirely convinced of this second manoeuvre. How I'm actually supposed to go about go about pulling it off. So yeah. At the end of the day, all I'm doing is going for a secret here, which I say I didn't even know existed until a couple of days or so ago. But yeah, unfortunately, it seems to involve pulling off one manoeuvre here that yeah I can't quite pull off. So yay. Funnily enough, it's the one of the two manoeuvres that I was more confident about pulling off, but maybe I have to do something extra as well to pull this off, because the manoeuvre in itself, when we'll see it later on, involves an item that's not here, and I'm not 100% convinced I'm doing this right to the point where I can actually do it. So yeah, in fact, you know what? I'm actually going to stop there. That's feels incredibly pathetic on my part, but I actually don't know the technique to get up there. If indeed I can get up there, I have the skill to pull it off. If not, then apologies, I'll describe what's up there. But yeah, here's hoping that I actually can pull that off. And yeah, well, if I can, here it is. Okay. Finally pulled it off. I was just doing a manoeuvre all wrong. I'm not going to describe ultimately again how I'm doing that. I'll describe it in much more detail when it becomes a mechanic that's explained in game. But yeah, that's all rather silly in a sense because I'm actually pulling the manoeuvres off. You can kind of see what I'm doing anyway. But yeah, I said I would sort of limit that. Obviously, I've done it for this secret area, but I've not I deliberately tried not to do anything like that in the regular game, up to this point, because as I say, on a first-time playthrough, you don't know as of yet that you can actually pull those manoeuvres off. So yeah, probably being a bit stubborn, almost a bit silly here by not describing those manoeuvres. But yeah, I'll do so when they actually become explained in the game. But yeah, let's bring us up to this area. Which, yeah, I'm not going to describe in an awful amount of detail because, frankly, I'm not exactly sure everything of what I'm seeing here. But, yeah, I believe this is just sort of a secret nod to characters. We've got Ogmo here from Jumper, which I think, is a game that was created by, or part created, or designed a little by, one of the creators of this game as well. So I believe all the characters we've got here are characters from other sort of perhaps indie games or whatever that were projects or based on games that were the creators of this game previously have created in other games. That felt like way too much of a long-winded thing to say, but yeah. Anyway, that's what the secret area is here. I won't dwell on it any longer because I'm not even sure who all these characters are. Ogmo up there from Jumper, as I say, is about the only one I really recognise. Yeah, I'll probably just leave that there. But yeah, honestly, this was a secret area that I must admit I didn't even as at the date I'm recording this didn't even know was a thing. So yay, I learned something new a couple of days ago. And I'm just glad I was able to actually finally pull that off. So hopefully I've done it, but if not, we'll just move on. And now we come to what is one of my absolute favourite parts of this entire game. So we have this sort of, at the moment at least, ominous kind of looking... Probably should have stood on top of that thing, but really doesn't really make much difference. Also, there's a point here to mention that if you hold, probably going to be completely inevident now, but yeah, you can perhaps get a little glimpse of the downward speed at which I'm going here. But if you hold the down button when you're descending, you actually descend at a quicker rate. So yeah, I'm sure speedrunners would use that all over the place as a method for getting through the level quicker. But yeah, no, this is a fabulous little section of the game. We're not even at the absolute best part yet, but no. In fact, why don't I just pause there? This just seems like trying to do way too much in one go. I'm trying to, almost show off, not wittingly, because I just didn't see the blooming the gap there. But there's a potential to show off here. I think actually there's a see if we can do it. Yeah, there's an area there where I could fall down. I think obviously it's not just a straight drop. I do have to make some manoeuvres by the look of it off to one side. So yeah, we'll not do it the fancy way, simply because ultimately I'm not sure I can be bothered mucking around doing it for all that long. It's not a terribly long section, and frankly it probably only requires one little manoeuvre to the right hand side, but nah. Again, I don't know this game sufficiently well to the point where I can, I know I can pull off those types of things. Of course, we do have pretty much infinite dashing, or as I like to call it, swimming, in water. Or diving, however you want to call it, but yeah, so here we are again, hold down, hopefully we sort of fall there at a much faster pace. But yeah, this kind of like thorn that you can kind of see here, is kind of disappearing out of our way. I'm probably going to have to jump off this at some point in time, aren't I? Oh no, it's going to arrive me. It's going to arrive very, very slow at the ledge, so fine. Cool. But anyway, that was a really nice section with the thorns that will disappear and make more of the screen visible. But now, I believe anyway, yeah, I can see. Let's give her a name now, Madeline. I can see Madeline, the dark part of me, or at least what we think is the dark part of me, over there on the right-hand side. So, yeah, let's progress the story. Looking for me? I thought you were done with me. That was a mistake. I'm sorry. You think you got it all figured out. You think you don't need me. I said I'm sorry. We need to move past this. You expect me to trust you? You aren't innocent here either. But I know you're scared. Look, we're at rock bottom. Almost literally. There's no point in fighting. I can keep digging. I could pull us down to the centre of the earth. What would be the point? Let's climb out of here. Together. Come close to me and I'll make you regret it. Whoa. So yes, this dark part of us now starts. Basically, it's a giant chase section. She's dashing away from us. we have to make contact with her, mainly by, I think you can just sort of jump into her. It's not like a spike where actually if you connect with it you die, so you can either just jump into her or dash into her. But the screen kind of we get all these kind of thorns kind of coming in the background that sort of obscure our view. I mean, basically just need to chase the dark part of us or whatever through these levels. The music here is absolutely friggin' phenomenal. I love it. As well, in addition to the little sort of orbs you saw her do in the previous screen, after a certain period of time, she also starts shooting giant lasers at us as well, which are probably far more threatening. At some point in time, she also sort of alternates between the two, or can do both of them. So be careful. Now this is just a fabulous section. I thought this was probably this actually may be probably either like my favourite or second favourite part of the game. It's difficult to say definitively because I love both parts so much. But I won't even sort of spoil in essence what the other part is at the moment. But trust me, it's going to be something sort of near toward the end. But no, this was I had so much fun with this. Oh, I thought I died there. I actually survived and grabbed the dash refresher there. I honestly thought I died and messed that up. So that was bad. No, this is just such a fun section. The music just gets me so pumped up here. It's not too difficult. It sort of feels like it's a kind of a boss encounter to Odyssey type thing there, which is just friggin' awesome. But the atmosphere, the music, the mechanics of ultimately what we're doing here, everything feels just enormously epic. It was a blast playing through this. It really is. It goes on for quite a while, and again, I had absolutely no problem with that whatsoever. It's almost I can't say I'm sort of disappointed when it ends, because it does go on for quite a while. But no, this is just such a fabulously fun section, and I love it. Yeah, personally, I almost find the sort of the particles that she sort of nice wobbling particle there that completely caught me off guard in terms of where that was going. I almost find those sort of more tricky than the laser, frankly. Again, the laser, you think it's more deadly, it sort of covers up more of the screen and such like that, but it's... Whoops, I need to dash there because I've gone out of the feather. The laser is just almost like on a, it feels like it's on a timer, and frankly, it's a lot more predictable. Whereas I feel like the particles just sort of, as I say, particularly with the ones that sort of wobble from sort of up and down, side to side, or whatever, can be quite difficult to actually avoid. Clearly, I'm still going to get hit with a laser every now and now and then. It's not something I'm going to dodge every single time. But ding it. But yeah, funnily enough, I think I find dodging the laser for the most part. Easier. I was going to say less or more fun, but easier than the particles. Not that I mind the particles; they're still fun to dodge as well. But yeah, there's not. Watch out, obviously, for the debris that falls from the ceiling. A lot of the laser stuff feels like a timing thing. I mean, a lot of the time when it's constant lasers, I just like to sort of stop here, for example, wait for a little while, appreciate when I know it's going to fire, and then sort of just dash upwards out of the way. But yeah, do watch out for the main. I lost my, or jumped off of there horribly. Watch out for the falling debris. Blair made a mess of that. Because every time you hit it, well, not on every screen, but clearly in some screens, every time you hit some debris will fall from the ceiling. So just watch out for that. Let's not mess this up this time. Cool. So this does go on for quite a while, but like I said before, I have no problem with that, no issue with that whatsoever. Whoops. The other thing about the laser as well is I feel like if you can get to her... What the hell was that jump? Seriously, that was awful. I do feel like if you can just, get to her quick enough, you can almost just kind of cancel sort of doing the laser. But I mean, a bit like here, really. I'm just sort of, hopefully chaining the hits in on her quite quickly. I'm just sort of stopping her from actually doing anything. Whereas it doesn't really feel like it's quite the case with the particles. They're just sort of... I'll stop here. I did you a favour. With the particles, they just sort of... can be irritating and they don't go away. You aren't a mountain climber. I'm just trying to help you. None of this would have happened if you'd listened to me. Okay, that happened a lot quicker than I was expecting. Oh, and the platforms move as well. So yeah, we've clearly made her angry, and whoa, and yeah, progressed to a new part of the fight, and that's terrible. Going to need to use the momentum of that platform to get across, and get out of the way with a nice, well-timed dash at the end to get away from the spikes. In case you're wondering, you do sort of seem to obviously clearly bounce off of Madeline here. I'm going to call her now. But as you see there, I got sent sort of flying backwards. I do find, and it does seem to be very kind in that respect, that when you are, at the edge of a screen where there's like lots of spikes lying around, it never seems to dick you over at that point in time and send you like hurtling back into all spikes. It's very kind in that respect. It always sort of seems to send you clinging to a wall or something to the point where, yeah, it doesn't send you off back into some sort of ridiculous situation. So there again, for example, it sent me back into a wall there. There's also a bit of the floor there that remains that I could also safely land on if I so wish. But yeah, that's bad. I need to use momentum to get up to that ledge initially, which is poorly timed now thanks to this projectile. There we go. So I need my dash to get over there. Like you see again there, instead of, because I hit her from the left-hand side there, she could have sent me flying back to the left-hand side again, like she did in previous ones. But no, the game is kind in that respect. Doesn't put me in a sort of a ridiculous situation. It knocks me over to the right-hand side to safety here, and that's a real nice touch. Some of this could have been very awkward and very annoying if it had done something. If it had done something like that. So yay. Oops, wrong way. So more feather fun now. Ow! That was very bad, but and again there, sent me flying to the right-hand wall. But, oh no, okay, that's all right. Oh, I missed her. That was Blair. But yeah, this does again really nice job of just sort of mixing up all the wow, all the sort of gimmicks in there. We don't really get to see the push block too much in this section. It seems to be more just like the feather and the. We've got some of the moving blocks, I suppose, but yeah, more so, I guess, just the feather and the actual. Oh, wrong way, ding it! The feather and the bouncing balls, or yeah. So, but yeah, rather than the moving block, but that's fine. I still think there's enough variety and enough going on here to make this still make this an incredibly awesome section. And I am having a huge amount of trouble with this screen for some reason. There's still nothing in here that's that difficult. Obviously, again, the difficulty is increasing as we go, but I still don't think there's anything here that should be that difficult. It's making a colossal mess of things. And obviously, clearly, again, not remembering where I should be going. Oh, I hit the thing at such a stupid angle there. Need to hit that ball on the right-hand side there, so that let's not get ahead of ourselves there. So obviously I don't, yeah, hit it from the top and go hurtling into the bloody spikes on the top of that section. Ugh. That's a bit better, thank you. And I think we're getting pretty close to the end now. To say this has been going on for a little while anyway, and say no complaints from me. I love this section, but I think with this screen we might actually be coming to the end. So be careful here with the feather, not to get caught in the laser. Oh, that was bad. I think it's pretty much the end of it. There's this long feather section here. Yeah, by the way, I mean, if you're in, it feels like you're sort of, well, you're not invincible in this feather section. So yeah, if you are in the feather and the laser, yeah, well, perfect example. The laser will get you. So you do have to be quite actual, or you have to be a little bit cute and clever with this feather. Make sort of small movements. Make sure that you don't get. So I'm going to mess up horribly by not grabbing the feather at all. Lovely. You have to be a little bit maybe cute with some of your movements here. Make small adjustments. Obviously, wait for the laser to sort of be round about where you are, and then sort of almost bait it out. So yeah, there's some interesting manoeuvres here to have to pull off. Please don't mess up now. Good. And with the final hit, yeah, all the spikes disappear. There's no more danger, and we can progress. Fine. You win. I guess you don't need me after all. If you want me to go away, I'll try. That's not what I want. I need your help now more than ever. Please, let's work together. Work together? You're joking, right? It's okay to be scared. No. No. And with that, the part of me truly becomes part of me, or part of Madeline, truly becomes part of Madeline again. We've levelled up, and we now have 2 dashes. We have a double dash. So, yeah, well, what can I say as I sort of climb up here? I don't think there's anything particularly noteworthy so much so on this climb now, other than, of course, the fact that the double dash helps our movement incredibly from this point on. But yeah, obviously at this point in time, the lesson here being that Madeline's learned in the sense that yeah, it shouldn't be a case of that you just completely get rid of, and you're in fact never going to get rid of all those negative emotions or whatever, and you shouldn't sort of treat them as something that isn't a part of you. You should learn to accept them, learn to obviously control them, but learn to, you know, as I say, accept that they are a part of you, deal with them appropriately, and yeah, you'll probably end up better, all the better for it. So again, I'm not going to delve into the psychology of all this in any too much more detail, because as I say, I'm not really qualified to do that. But that, of course, is probably, as a bare minimum, the message that's trying to be put across here. How did we do that? If we could climb like that, maybe we can still reach the summit. You still want to climb the mountain? Why would we go back up there? It's good to see you two playing nice. Hey, thanks for talking some sense into me earlier. Don't mention it. I'm glad I can still be useful every now and then. Madeline. Madeline, you're okay. I ran down to help, but it looks like you're doing fine. Thanks, Theo. Honestly, maybe that fall was what I needed. Is this the part of you that you were talking about? She's like an adorable goth Madeline. Hi. You were right, Theo. I shouldn't be afraid of her. If her and I work together, I think we can still finish the climb. That's so rad. Wait, no. I didn't agree to this. You said we'd talk about things first. You're right. I understand that you're scared, but we both know that this is something we want to do. We have to try one last time. Yeah, you got this. I don't know. We were so close and then we fell. The mountain tore us apart. Yeah, that happened. But I have to believe we can put that behind us. I have to believe we're capable of this. It's not a bad idea. It'll still be difficult, mind you. But I'm amazed you got as far as you did, butting heads like you were. I reckon you can make it if you cooperate. Okay, I'll try. Can I help? You've already done so much for me. Let me hold your bag, at least. Good idea. This won't take long. And with that, Chapter 6 clear. Yeah, I won't sort of delve on the story there too much longer, but suffice to say, this is probably what they say is one of my absolute favourite chapters, not least for the gameplay, just the relaxing style of it, that sort of fight against, obviously, Madeline, or the so-called dark part of me, is awesome, absolutely epic. I had an absolute blast when I first got that. I thought that was one of the best things probably in the entire game. I had so much fun with that. But yeah, I mean, the storyline obviously really comes to a head here. Obviously, it's sort of going to come to its kind of. There's still more to come in terms of its conclusion, but I think this is a wonderful sort of chapter to sort of bring the story to a head, bring all those kind of issues and conflicts that have been going on, and also obviously the Madeline-Badline sort of element to things, you know, to a head and get them resolve their differences. So yeah, this is a really, really nice chapter, not both from a gameplay point of view and from a story point of view as well. And yeah, I love this chapter. Thought it'd be a few more than that, actually, but okay. 79 deaths with the Crystal Heart and the B-side unlocked. And yeah, that is that. I may well end up splitting chapter 6 into 2 parts. I don't know. I'll see how long the total length of it was, but yeah, that may be split into 2 parts. And of course, as at the time I'm recording this audio, I've still got to figure out whether or not I can actually get into that secret area or not. Hopefully I have, but otherwise that'll be a hell of a thing. But anyway, yeah, that's chapter 6. I freaking love that chapter. And next time, so chapter 7 is probably going to be possibly even longer than that, and longer than chapter 5 as well. So chapter 7 may well have to be a 2-part. So I'm not sure I can really pull that off in 1 part. Not least because there's about 40 or 50 odd strawberries, I think, in that chapter to collect. So yeah, there are a ton of strawberries in that chapter, and other things to go hunting for as well. So yeah, it's a massive set of screens or chapter, arena, whatever the next point. So yeah, that's going to take quite some time. But yeah, I'll leave it there. That's the end of chapter 6, and next time we'll be kicking off with chapter 7. Hope to see you for that. But until then, cheerio. Okay, of course it's not quite cheerio. I've said my goodbyes, but no, like as I said before, I was going to do some experimentation on this part and then show off the lower screens. So yeah, I went all the upper screens previously. So let's do the lower screens, show those all off. Why not? I feel like I should yeah, you know, show off the game, you know, in its almost as much of its entirety as possible. So you notice here again that we were back in this area. So yeah, previously because we came out of up here, but that area is blocked off now. So we do get it to be sort of branching paths here. So yeah, I took all the top route before, so I'm going to take all the lower route this time, and that way we'll indeed get to see everything that's going on. We'll also get to see silly, clumsy deaths, and even more silly, clumsy deaths. Yay! But yeah, we will get to see all the screens. So oh, okay, that was a nice save. Pleased with myself on that one. It was yeah, looks clumsy, looks silly, but yeah, no, pleased with the save there. And what? Yeah, thank you. All I want to do is just check up here. I'm pretty sure there's nothing up there, but I just wanted to double check. This area looks sort of newish, I guess, but I guess we're coming at it from a lower path now rather than a higher path. So, yep. And again, went up before, so this time we'll go down. And of course, there's only going to be a few screens of this or whatever, so all I'm going to do is just get to the point where the screens no longer get to their sort of branching stages. I need to dash into that fella, and then that will be the end of the video. Because yeah, obviously once we get back to the point where the screens we've already seen, that'll be the end of this. Cool. Oops. Okay, fine. So yeah, we had this screen before as well where we just broke apart all the blocks. Whoops. I think we've only got maybe 1 or 2 screens left, so not too much longer left. But yeah, I mean, obviously, certain people are going to find certain screens, you know, more or less easy than other ones. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, just from looking at these, I wouldn't necessarily say any one set of them has been more difficult than the other. I think it's just a sort of, you know, take your pick, really. I think I've probably died more on these bottom screens. I think it's probably because I just tended to actually sort of take the upper route, just naturally anyway. So I'm slightly more familiar with those screens. If truth be told, I'm not going to bother dashing into that block this time. I'm just gonna go. So I think I'm slightly more familiar with the setup in the top screens. But yeah, I don't think it should really make an awful lot of difference. Although this one actually feels like it's a bit more involved, having to sort of although I think I pulled that off first time, having to dash into those. I think this is pretty much just where we were before, wasn't it? Although again, I will show off that there's actual feathers are here on the lower route as well. But yeah, I think we've now reached the point where the screens mesh up. I'm just going to see if I can. This screen looks very familiar, but I'm just going to. Yeah, I think this is the end. This screen looks very familiar. Oh, bother. I'm going to do this one now just for the pure sake of actually doing it, and we're going to get to see some more clumsy deaths. Yay! But yeah, now having died at least 4 times on this screen, you know, professional pride again now. Wow, professional pride again now can't not complete this screen. But yeah, I mean, it gives me maybe a bit of time to finish that train of thought again as well. Like, as I say, wow, really? I think I tend to find the paths on the upper route there just a little bit easier than the ones on the lower route, but yeah, okay, now we're back in the reflection area, and then we're back in the area where I hope I'll trigger the cutscene again, but we're back in the area with the secret area. So yeah, I think on the balance, yeah, all things equal, I think I'd probably say that the set of top screens is easier than the bottom screens, but again, frankly, there are probably some. I mean, I wouldn't say like the first bottom screen is easier than the last top screen, if you will. But all things equal, there's probably about roughly the same difficulty. But I think I would just sort of naturally maybe go on the top. I perhaps started on the top and just thought, okay, just to save time, I'll stay on the top all the time. But nah, it doesn't really make much difference. I'd say both sets of screens are not especially difficult. So yeah, ultimately take your pick, and that truly is it for this part. So yeah, for real this time. Cheerio.